Welcome to the fourth, I think it's the fourth morning of bow season, is that right? And normally I would be in the woods hunting right now. Instead we're out doing a film segment. This fence here tells us that this deer here was not hit by a car. As a matter of fact, we drove by when this deer was bedded there still alive and dying. So we're trying to, today we're just going to go around and show you some of the blue tongue effects that have happened, how it's affecting me. I'm not going to be able to hunt. All of my properties are affected by it. I may have to end up going out of state for it, but it's something that we really need to start thinking about. What can we do about it, if there is anything we can do about it? Because basically it's being swept under the rug. Sure, they want everybody to buy their deer license, but you know, basically I'm a trophy hunter. I shoot deer for the meat and put it in my freezer, but I also enjoy hunting for antlers. And none of my properties have any live deer on them. All my photo cam pictures that I have pictures of sick deer. I found my first one in June. It's been going on ever since, and they're still getting bit and dying to this day. So this is Bill Vale and Randy Vanderveen. We're going to go around and check some other spots and just show you what's littered throughout all across the state here, and especially in these counties. Aren't telling what it is. This little thing here. This one's been here a little while. Here's another one, just a perfectly good deer, just up and dead. And being in the water, it's going to take longer for them to decay. This one is another one that's older. I've got one upriver, because what I've been doing is I've been examining this particular stretch of river every day to try to pick up new ones. And we picked up a new one, so they're still, right now, as we speak, no matter what they say their count is on dead deer, it's inaccurate. Because I'm finding deer daily that are being bit. I have a buddy of mine who had 3 great big shooter bucks on his trail cam. I went there opening morning to hunt, and we didn't see any of the deer. And none of the pictures have come back on the trail cam. He's had it there all summer. The pictures have never went more than 3 to 4 days without being there. Now they're just absolutely vanished. And when I talked to him about it, he was really disappointed. And then he said, oh man, that he had heard coyotes the night before somewhere out back. So possibly one of his bucks had died or whatnot. I mean, they're finding on a farm in Marshall, there was a guy that found whitetails over 3.5 years old stacked like cordwood in his backyard. This right here, I know maybe looks like, you know, well, okay, we got a deer here or there going. It's not the case. I've been an hour and 15 minutes. Ooh. I've been an hour and 15 minutes in just about every direction from my house. And there's not been one piece of cover that I've been in that I have either not seen the dead deer or smelled them. It seems like the more I smell it, the more I can. But opening night, I went back to my stand on Mud Lake, and we had a southeast that switched to a northeast. Randy told me about the wind switch before I went out hunting. When I got in the tree stand, I didn't see a single deer on all the food plots that are back there, which normally by the time I get there, those food plots are beginning to load up with deer. I never saw one deer. And when that wind switched to the northeast, it was all I could do to hold my lunch down. It was just absolutely horrid. There is no way that one single deer could give off that much odor on the northeast end of that, southwest end of that lake, blowing right at me. Every time that wind would come out of the northwest, I had to put my hand over my face like that to keep the stink from just absolutely overwhelming me. Personally, I've come to this conclusion. Until we get a real hard freeze and one of my cameras picks up a live buck in a place that I have permission to hunt, trying to target and hunt an animal is going to be a pretty rough thing to do. So everybody out there, man, pray for a freeze, a frost, something, because we got to get rid of this bug. I'm worried now that we've lost so many deer that it's going to take 5 years for our herd to recover from this alone. People, we've got a mess on our hands, and that's why we're taking the time today to bring you this video. Okay, we've come downriver about, a 1/16 of a mile. There were several others that I knew of that were just too hard to get back with. I think this is due to make our point. You can ask Randy, as soon as we crested the edge of linear path, it hit us. Strong odor of dead deer. These two spots here are struggle spots, and if you're out looking for if you happen to, I don't know why anybody would, but I mean, if they were out looking for, when you find these struggle spots, there's one nearby. Here's a dead one right up here. This poor deer here. This one here is a lot newer. Just a few days old. Button buck. Laying there. And all along this riverbank right here, or see where people have been fishing, but all along this riverbank right here used to be just slaughtered with rubs and tracks and stuff. And you couldn't walk down in this grass right here, because we come down here and fish. And there would be just deer tracks and rubs and runs and everything everywhere. So here's another one. There's bound to be others over in that tall grass along the river. I haven't been over there, but this right here, this one here, you can tell by the comparison that one's probably, maybe a week, because I found it 4 days ago and it had just been killed. So that one there, and boy does that thing stink. We got another one up here. This is just a fawn. So we know that this one, fawn's been here even longer because they've had spots. So this is just trying to establish a timeline. This has been going on all summer. It's still going on. Deer that you catch on your cam tracker today could be bit and dead in 5 days. You can't trust even your pictures coming back right now. Here's that dead fawn up here. This one's been here a while. Are you having trouble with the audio, or?
No.
Okay.
Fresh turd right there.
This trail right here used to just be hammered with tracks. There's hardly a track on it. But here's an old dead fawn. This one's been here quite a while. You can see it's completely covered with maggots. Isn't that horrible?
That is sick. That reeks, man.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what I'm going to do for hunting, because really until I get a hard freeze and a picture of a big buck after that, I don't have a target animal to go after. How many now? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're about to go see a 5th one in less than a quarter-mile stretch of one branch of the river. And I guarantee you there's 10 times that many laying in this tall grass around here. If you do the math on that, you're going to start coming up with some scary numbers.
Okay.
The other day I was walking down this edge and I came out through here and I had a deer, skin and bones, come walking right up to me out of that deadfall. Could have hit it in the head with a club and killed it. It was completely out of its mind, stumbling around, disorientated, suffering, had no idea. You know, its instincts completely taken away from it. You know, they're just, this is an atrocity. And they want to talk about, oh, blue tongue, we have it, and we have had it in Michigan, here and there. I'm here to tell you, this is the worst case of blue tongue that is ever to be recorded and go on record. I can almost guarantee it. There's another one right there. Just sickening. That one's been there no less than 3 or 4 days. That's a newer one. So, now if you imagine this whole river going all the way, even if you imagine just 115 miles of it, or an hour and 15 minutes driving of it, and that many deer multiplied on one river, that's not counting all of our tributaries, all of our streams, and everything else. It's just absolutely, you know, scary. So I hope that, you know, I hope that we can get to the bottom of it, because it's just, you know, right now up until this point, I haven't heard a whole lot. I mean, I've heard bits and pieces of it here, but it hasn't been, in my opinion, put out there for people to know about before they buy their license. Once they buy their license and there's no deer to shoot, or they find out that they shoot a deer and it could be sick and so they just throw it away, it's going to amplify the death count. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm not here to try to come up with any. I'm just here to report that this is what I'm finding as a person who basically lives outdoors and spends a lot of his time outdoors. So hope you guys, this is just one small segment. If we get a chance, we may go visit another spot. If we don't, I think we've made the point. If you look at the map that the DNR has put out, it's almost like it starts centered around my house and works out. It's just incredible the amount of counties and where the death count might be right now. I have no idea how long it takes for a place to repopulate. I know it takes 5 years, you know, for a big buck to reach maturity and to grow the size horns that I like to shoot. So anyway, this is what's looking at us, guys.